Let's be honest. By 2026, the vast majority of product managers are going to be using AI like a glorified Google search. They'll be stuck, just tweaking simple prompts and getting back generic junk. But the top 3%? Oh, they'll be playing a completely different game. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what that is. We're talking about a shift from being just a tactical doer to a full-on strategic orchestrator. So here's the reality check. The problem we are all swimming in. A wild 97% of PMs are losing over a fifth of their week. That's a full day, every single week, to manual busy work. You know what I'm talking about. Endless roadmap updates, digging through a month of Slack messages to find one decision, just mind-numbing data entry. That is not strategy. That's a tax on your brain power. And this really splits the road in two, right? On one side, you've got the busy PM. They're constantly in reactive mode, absolutely drowning in documents with like 50 browser tabs open, just trying to keep their head above water. But on the other side, you have the strategic PM. This person has built systems to automate all that noise, which frees them up to do the real job, talking to customers and making the big calls that actually matter. So, how do you make that jump? What's the secret? Well, I'll tell you what it's not. It's not about finding some magical secret library of prompts. The real promise, the big one, is a fundamental shift in your role. It's about you going from being a hands-on doer of tasks to becoming a strategic orchestrator of smart AI systems that do the heavy lifting for you. I want you to just think about this for a second. What if AI wasn't just a tool you poke with questions? What if it was a proactive teammate, one that actually anticipates what you need, flags risks you haven't even seen yet, and drafts your documents while you're sleeping? Sounds pretty good, right? Well, hold that thought, because we're going to circle back to exactly how that works in just a minute. But first things first, before you can orchestrate anything, you have to learn how to speak the language. And the foundation for all of this is getting the prompt right. This isn't about some fancy hacks. It's just about giving AI clear, structured instructions. And this right here, this is your first quick win. Look, the best prompts aren't super long. They're just dense with the right info. It all boils down to this simple 4-part formula. 1. Context. Tell the AI who it is. You're a senior PM. Tell it about your product, your users, your goals. 2. Inputs. You've got to give it the raw materials. Literally copy and paste your messy meeting notes, the raw customer feedback, the Jira tickets. 3. The task. Be specific. Don't just say analyze this. Say synthesize the top 3 pain points or draft a 1-paragraph summary. And finally, number 4, output format. Tell it exactly how you want the answer. Give it to me as a markdown table or as a JSON object. This structure just gets rid of all the guesswork. You'll get a killer result on the very first try. So here's the big mindset shift. You have to stop treating AI like a search bar. Instead, start treating it like a brilliant but super literal junior team member. It's got all the raw horsepower in the world, but it has zero of your context. Your job as the manager is to provide that context through really clear, really structured direction. Okay, so you've nailed the prompt formula. You're feeling good, and now you're probably tempted to go out and start bookmarking hundreds of prompts for every little thing you do. And that right there, that's the trap. That is where most people go completely wrong. So let's just bust this myth wide open. The myth is that you need this giant, sprawling library of prompts to be effective. But the reality, the top PMs, the really good ones, they don't collect prompts. They create and refine them. They have a core set of maybe 10 to 15 battle-tested prompts that they know inside and out, and they just reuse and tweak them over and over again. The real value isn't in volume, it's in refinement. So if it's not about having a million prompts, then what's the big secret? Well, this is it. This is the secret sauce. This is the idea that separates the top 3% from literally everyone else. We have to move beyond just thinking about single prompts and into the world of what's called agentic AI. And what on earth is agentic AI? Put simply, it's an AI system that doesn't just sit there waiting for your next command. You give it a high-level goal, and it can actually reason, plan, and then execute a whole series of actions, often across different tools, all by itself to get there. It is autonomous, it is goal-oriented. And the difference here is night and day. Traditional AI, like your standard chatbot, is totally reactive. It does nothing until you give it a prompt. Its scope is just one single task. But agentic AI, it's proactive. It can kick off a workflow on its own. It's capable of multi-step thinking. It understands your company's history. And this is the big one. It can operate other tools through APIs. It won't just write a document for you. It'll pull the latest customer feedback from Zendesk, analyze it, draft the product spec, and then post an update to your team's Slack channel. Now, I know this might be starting to sound a little bit like science fiction, but this is happening right now. Let's take a look at a real-world example of how these agentic workflows are turning ideas into actual products at, frankly, terrifying speeds. So, a perfect example of this in the wild is a tool called arc2code.com. A product manager can literally upload a simple architecture diagram, the kind of thing you'd sketch out on a whiteboard. And an AI agent will take that diagram and generate the actual starter code for the entire application. All of a sudden, a strategic idea becomes a real clickable prototype in minutes. This just absolutely crushes the feedback loop time with engineering and your stakeholders. And that right there, that brings us all the way back to the question I asked at the beginning. This system, this autonomous thing that takes a goal and just goes, that is the proactive teammate in action. And here's the crucial part. It's a workflow that you, as the product manager, get to design and orchestrate. This isn't just about copying and pasting a prompt someone else wrote. Now, these tools are obviously incredibly powerful. And that brings me to one last really critical warning. As you start to build these systems for yourself, there is one massive mistake that you absolutely have to avoid. The single biggest mistake you can make as a product manager in this new world is outsourcing your judgment. It's so easy to see a beautifully written, very confident-sounding output from an AI and just take it as the gospel truth. But that is not its job. AI is there to build a scaffold for your thinking, not to replace it. I really want this to sink in. The purpose of AI is not to tell you what to build. Its purpose is to give you more context, more leverage, and a way faster feedback loop with your team and your customers. Your judgment, your empathy, your strategic vision, that's what makes the difference. AI just clears all the junk out of the way so you can use those skills more effectively. All right, let's wrap this up with a super quick recap. Here are the 3 things you need to remember. 1. Master that 4-part prompt formula: context, inputs, task, and format. 2. Stop hoarding prompts and start designing autonomous, agentic workflows. And 3, and this is the most important, use AI to augment your amazing product judgment, never, ever to replace it. And that, of course, leaves us with one final, very important question. Once you start building these incredible AI workflows, how do you know if they're actually working? How do you know if you can trust them? That, my friends, is the science of AI evals, and it's the next critical step on your journey to becoming a true orchestrator of AI.